Let's talk about something many executives tend to delegate but is actually a core leadership issue: passwords. I know, it sounds simple, but a single weak password can put your entire company on the line. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that is, and more importantly, what you can do about it. So what's really at stake here? Well, the fallout from just one bad password, it's staggering. And we're not talking about some small IT headache. This is a direct hit to the bottom line. Think about it. Massive legal bills, productivity grinding to a halt, and losing the trust of your customers, which can take years to win back. This isn't a tech problem. It's a fundamental business risk. You know, the research firm Virtualization Options LLC, which really focuses on making this stuff clear for executives, they put it perfectly. This quote right here, this gives us the perfect way to think about this. Don't think of a password as just a bunch of letters and numbers. Think of it as a wall that protects your digital life and all your company's assets. So the question is your wall strong or is it full of holes? Because a breach in that wall, it doesn't just affect one person. No, the consequences ripple out, spreading far beyond a single compromised account to hit the entire business. And this is that ripple effect in action. One weak password can literally unlock the door to widespread financial fraud. It can lead to identity theft, not just for you, but for your employees and your customers. It shatters trust, and it can trigger huge legal and regulatory fines. Honestly, any one of these is a full-blown corporate crisis. Okay, so that's the why. Now for the how. How do these attackers actually get through the wall? You might think it's all super sophisticated, but really, it all boils down to two surprisingly simple approaches. Look, pretty much every password attack comes down to one of two things. Either a machine is trying to guess the lock's combination, or a person is trying to trick you into just handing over the key. That's it. On one side, you've got automated attacks, like brute force, guessing millions of combos a second. And on the other, you have things like phishing, which just bypasses all the tech to mess with our human psychology. A brute force attack is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's pure, relentless, automated guessing. Imagine a digital keychain with billions of keys, and a computer program that can try every single one at lightning speed, until, click, the lock opens. That's the machine you're up against. And then there's the other way in: trickery. Phishing doesn't try to break the lock, it tries to convince you to open the door for them. It works by creating a sense of urgency or fear. You know that email, "Your account has been compromised, click here now." It's designed to make you panic and bypass your rational brain, so you'll type your password into a fake website. And here's the really crucial point: the domino effect. A hacker might not even be targeting you directly. They could steal a password from a data breach at some totally different, less secure website. But if your employee used that exact same password for their work email, your company's cloud storage, and your financial software, well, the attacker now has the keys to your entire kingdom. It's called credential stuffing, and it is absolutely rampant. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's pivot to the solution. How do we build that unbreakable fortress? The good news is the steps are clear, they are actionable, and believe me, they are incredibly effective. If you remember only one single thing from our time together, please make it this: when it comes to passwords, length is strength. It is, without a doubt, the single most important factor in stopping those automated brute force attacks we just talked about. For years, we were all told that 8 characters was the standard. But just look at that number now. With today's computing power, an 8-character password can be cracked in minutes, sometimes even seconds. That isn't a wall, that's a picket fence. Now, watch what happens when we just move to 12 characters. This isn't just a little bit better, it is an exponential leap in security. The number of possible combinations just explodes from millions into the trillions. The time it takes an attacker to crack it goes from minutes to years. This right here should be the absolute minimum standard for your organization. And for your crown jewels, I'm talking admin access, financial systems, executive accounts. The gold standard is 16 characters or more. A password this long becomes practically unbreakable by any brute force attack with the technology we have today. This isn't a picket fence anymore. This is your fortress. Of course, length works best when you combine it with complexity, mixing in uppercase and lowercase letters, tossing in some numbers, and adding a few symbols. That makes it much, much harder for hackers who use dictionary attacks, which are just lists of common words. Variety adds another tough layer to your defenses. Now, this next rule, this is how you stop that dangerous domino effect dead in its tracks. Every single account needs to have its own unique password. I mean it, no exceptions. This contains the damage. If one account gets breached, the hacker hits a dead end. That stolen key can't open any other doors. Right about now, you're probably thinking, how on earth am I supposed to remember dozens of unique 16-character complex passwords? The answer is you don't. You get a password manager to do it for you. It's like a secure, encrypted digital vault that creates, stores, and fills in these super strong passwords automatically. It's what makes perfect security practical for all of us. And finally, let's talk about the ultimate safety net, two-factor or multi-factor authentication. All it means is that even if a hacker somehow steals your password, the thing you know, they still can't get in without that second factor. And that's usually a temporary code on something you have, like your phone. It is an absolute game changer for security. So we've covered all the personal habits, which is great. But as a leader, your job is to scale this up. It's about moving beyond just individual actions and building true, lasting organizational resilience. And this right here is the key insight for any leader. Yeah, strong passwords are a fantastic start, but a strong security culture, that's the real goal. That's what creates an organization where security is understood and valued by everyone, from the top floor to the shop floor, not just the IT department. So here it is. Here's the executive playbook for building that culture. First, enforce those strong password policies. Mandate length and complexity. Second, you have to mandate multi-factor authentication on all your critical systems. That should be non-negotiable. Third, invest in ongoing training so your team understands the why behind these rules. And finally, run regular audits to make sure your defenses are actually working the way you think they are. So, I'll leave you with this final thought, which takes us right back to that wall analogy from the beginning. Your company's data, its finances, its reputation, these are your most valuable assets. And your passwords are the locks on the doors protecting them. As a leader, you have to ask yourself, right now, is your front door unlocked? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.